Miscellaneous metalwork on a 69 caliber 1777 French musket. Wads, fore end, barrel, and ramrod. William Hovey Smith, 2020. I'm an author, and I've done a number of outdoor books, and also a business book, Create Your Own Job Security. In this book, I advocate that anyone, anywhere, at any age, start their own businesses as they need them to raise a little money, like perhaps right now, and tell you exactly how to choose an appropriate business. This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. We are working on our 1777 French flintlock musket here. This is a cutoff barrel, and what we're going to do is we're going to make a punch. In place of using the paper from a traditional paper cartridge to wad the ball, what I do is construct the equivalent of a shot shell loading using both cardboard and cushion wads. As you can see, we've given our punch an acute angle here. So now we're going to use a Dremel tool and actually work this edge so we can get a very sharp cut. I'm thinking this should be good enough. If not, we can certainly just do it again. But the trick is to get it in the water fast enough. Well, you heard it rather than saw it. Yeah, it was plenty hot when it went in the water. You can sharpen even soft metal so it will have a razor sharp edge. But hardening the steel is what gives you durability in an edge. So, this is a meat carton. Let's see how it does. Yeah, that looks good. And now we have 14 gauge cushion wads precisely cut to fit this particular bore. These wads from meat cartons are easy to cut, easy to use, can be recovered and even reused. And if the barrel is smooth, the residue is easily removed with a brass brush, soap, and water. We have now just completed the installation of our Fore End Cap. I have sharpened this shoulder with carving tools and dressed this side so we abut against the shoulder now. And we've just got through drilling the hole through this combination sight end cap here, which will fix this front sight evenly in the center of the barrel for best shooting. Whilst we were doing this drilling, I supported it with our jig that we've used before, just reconfigured it so I could use the wing nut and bolt and the pre-drill holes in the stock to keep everything stable while I drill this critical hole. One thing I often do is to enlarge the vent holes on flintlock guns for better ignition. Well, this is a military gun and the hole is the right diameter. However, it is only partially drilled. This is the bit I would use, but you can see the bit doesn't get to the chamber. I'm glad I checked. I'd hate to be out there on the range and no, there's no way this gun is going to shoot. Well, that's purposeful because many people have these guns and they buy them and finish them and hang them on the wall and never ever use them, but I'm not one of those folks. So, yeah, we're going to have to put a vent in this thing that really works. I've added a little cutting oil. Yeah, now I'll have a gun that can work. What? And we have just finished fitting the end cap here and drilling a hole for sighting. And I'm going to be working on steel. But whilst I am doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of spar varnish on the inside here. This will help protect the wood and seal these interior surfaces. And since I'm not going to be working on it for a day or so, this will give the stock a time to dry very well before I do the next stages. The next thing we're going to do is take a few seconds and true up the barrel crown. Now that's all right. Now that's much better than it was. I wasn't satisfied with the temper on my punch. So I went ahead and built a fire in my forge, a wood one as you see, and heated it and cooled it, and it did a little better. And then I cooked up some deer ribs on the coals. We have our ramrod mounted on our workbench here, and we're going to use a hacksaw and trim Ramrod. Okay, there we go. Before we disassemble the gun so we can work more on the barrel, there is a test we need to do. And that is, will the ramrod fit in the gun? Hopefully this barrel channel is of uniform thickness all the way through. Okay, that looks good, guys. The bolt with the wood on it is the start of making a drill mounted cutter, so I could cut thinner cardboard. Since I have a tool and die set, and we have in effect a piece of spare material here, I'm going to go ahead and use the equipment I've got to see if I can't actually thread the ramrod. The way I figured out which set to use was I found a nut that actually would thread on the ramrod here. And then, with the tap, matched it up, all right, and chose the appropriate die. So we now have the appropriate die chosen. So what we'll do is put this on the grinder and turn this round to about here, and then see if we can successfully put threads on it that will fit our gun. We put our cutoff end on the grinder. You can see that we have rounded it all right, and it's starting to fit just about right. So I'm going to smooth up some of this rough on the belt sander where I have better control, and then we'll be ready to start putting some threads on it. My effort to put some threads on the ramrod was not successful. I just could not hand grind with sufficient precision to have the threads take very well. Similarly, my attempt to make a drill bit to cut paper wads resulted in a bit that had so much wobble that I wound up cutting wads that were round enough, but they were more nearly 20 gauge than 14 gauge. Well, I'm going to try that again, but with better equipment. To be covered in future videos of browning the metal, finishing the stock, smoothing up the lock, and developing both round ball and shot loads for small game, waterfowl, and big game. For more information on my books, blogs, and more than 825 videos, you can go to my website, www.hoviesmith.com. To discover how you can start a variety of businesses as you need them and adjust them to your lifestyle, go to makeyourownjobsecurity.com. To find out more about my novel, screenplay, and movie, go to fatherthegrooms.net. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.